In the depths of the majestic Himalayas, a mystical and enigmatic kingdom awaits to be unveiled. Prepare to embark on an epic journey where the veils of mystery will be lifted, revealing a universe of culture, spirituality, and ancient secrets. In this documentary, we will explore the deepest and most hidden corners of this unique region, delving into the sacred valleys, where spirituality flows like a river of ancestral wisdom. Today, we will dive deep into the secrets and spirituality of Tibet, exploring everything from centuries-old sacred rituals to the mystical legends that still live in its sacred mountains. Welcome to the Fascinating Traditions channel. Here, we unravel fascinating secrets and explore the incredible world around us. Don't miss out on the discoveries. Subscribe now, activate notifications, and embark on this knowledge adventure with us. In the heart of Tibet, Buddhism is more than a religion. It is a way of life. Here, daily spiritual practices such as meditation and mantra recitation shape the lives of the people. From dawn, when the first sunlight touches the tips of the golden monasteries, to dusk, when the last lights fade under the serene chants of the monks, every moment is imbued with a quest for inner peace and deeper understanding. These practices are not mere rituals. They are the foundations upon which the Tibetan community is built. Meditation, for example, is seen not just as a way to calm the mind, but as a vital path to enlightenment. In the monasteries, young monks spend hours in meditation, learning to navigate the internal maps of their minds, while laypeople incorporate moments of reflection into their daily routines, seeking a connection with the divine in everyday life. The recitation of mantras, another pillar of Tibetan spiritual life, resonates through the villages and valleys. These mantras, words or syllables repeated, are considered extremely powerful. It is believed that they purify the heart and mind, bringing benefits not only to the reciter, but to all beings around. The sacred sound of Om Mani Padme Hum, the mantra of compassion, fills the air, creating an atmosphere of serenity that permeates the landscape. This way of life is also reflected in the ethics and community values. Respect for all living beings, a commitment to nonviolence, and the practice of generosity are taught from an early age. In festivals and holy days, the entire community comes together to celebrate, share, and reaffirm these principles, strengthening the bonds between individuals and generations. Thus, in Tibet, Buddhism transcends the personal sphere to become a collective force that shapes the entire society. It teaches patience, promotes peaceful coexistence, and inspires a deep reverence for life, which in turn influences every aspect of the Tibetan way of life, from political and social decisions to the simplest daily interactions. This intertwining of spiritual and everyday life in Tibet offers a powerful lesson on the transformative impact that faith can have on a community. Tibet is also a land rich in natural resources, which has placed the region at the center of complex geopolitical disputes. These resources are both a blessing and a source of tension. The vast mineral reserves, including significant deposits of gold, copper, lead, and zinc, as well as important borax and salt mines, are highly valued for both economic and strategic reasons. Additionally, Tibet is known as the roof of the world, not only for its altitude, but also for being one of the major freshwater sources for Asia, feeding the largest rivers that flow through China, India, and other Southeast Asian countries. This natural wealth, however, has been a double-edged sword. On one hand, it offers potential for economic development and improvements in the quality of life for Tibetans. On the other hand, it has attracted the intense and often intrusive interest of external powers, especially China, which administers the region with a strategic and economic eye. The exploitation of these resources has been largely controlled by Chinese authorities, and often the local population has seen little of the benefits, generating resentment and reinforcing feelings of exploitation and occupation. Moreover, The intensive exploitation of these resources raises significant environmental concerns. The impact on the fragile high-altitude ecosystems of Tibet can have long-lasting consequences, not only locally but also for the billions of people who depend on the rivers that originate in the region. Issues such as soil degradation, water pollution, and loss of biodiversity are critical challenges facing Tibet amidst these developments. The dynamics between economic development, environmental preservation, and political autonomy continue to shape the future of Tibet. While some see opportunities for growth, others strive to ensure that any development benefits the local population and respects the unique environment and culture of Tibet. This intersection of ecology, economy, and politics serves as a continuous reminder of the complexities faced by this strategically vital, yet environmentally and culturally sensitive region. The mountains of Tibet are also home to one of the world's greatest mysteries, the Yeti. We will explore the legends and accounts of sightings of this elusive snowman. The Yeti, also known in other regions as the Abominable Snowman, has been a figure of fascination and fear in Himalayan cultures for centuries. According to local tradition, the Yeti is a large, fur-covered creature that inhabits the most inaccessible and icy regions of the mountains. Stories of the Yeti vary from brief sightings to more detailed encounters. Some accounts describe the Yeti as a shy and solitary creature that avoids human contact, while others portray it as a threatening figure. Tibetan monks often refer to the Yeti not just as a physical creature, but also as an important spiritual being, possessing a deep connection with the nature of the Himalayas. Over the years, various expeditions have attempted to find concrete evidence of the Yeti's existence, drawn by mysterious footprints left in the snow, photographs, and even oral accounts from locals. Scientists and mystery enthusiasts have analyzed samples of hair and other materials supposedly linked to the Yeti, but so far, no definitive proof has been found to confirm the creature's existence beyond legends and myths. Despite the lack of scientific evidence, the Yeti continues to be a vital element of Himalayan folklore and an intriguing attraction for tourists and researchers. For many, the Yeti symbolizes the mystery and majesty of unexplored mountains, serving as a reminder of the many wonders that may still be hidden in the vast and remote regions of the world. The search for the Yeti also raises broader questions about environmental preservation and respect for local traditions. In a world that rapidly loses its secrets to the advance of technology and exploration, the legend of the Yeti encourages us to think about how we can explore and discover while still protecting wild places and the cultures that reside within them. Thus, the mystery of the Yeti is not just about the search for an unknown creature, but also about the quest for a deeper understanding of our planet and ourselves as its inhabitants. Tibetan culture is deeply spiritual and intrinsically linked to the land. Every festival and tradition here reflects the sacred connection between the people, their faith, and the environment. This profound connection is evidenced in the numerous festivals that take place throughout the year in Tibet, each imbued with spiritual significance and celebrating nature and the seasons. For example, Losar, the Tibetan New Year, is one of the most important celebrations and symbolizes renewal and purification. During Losar, Tibetan families come together to cleanse their homes and minds of negative influences, preparing for a new cycle with hope and positivity. Offerings are made to local deities and ancestors, and special dishes are prepared, each with symbolic meanings intended to attract health, prosperity, and happiness for the coming year. Another example is Sagadawa, which marks the birth, enlightenment, and death of Buddha. During this sacred month, Tibetans engage in acts of generosity, perform pilgrimages, and abstain from killing animals. The belief is that good deeds and spiritual practices have their merit multiplied during this period. Lanterns and prayer flags are seen everywhere, coloring the sky and sending prayers to the wind, reflecting the integration of faith with respect and care for the environment. Beyond festivals, Tibetan architecture also reflects this connection to the land. Monasteries are often built in places of spiritual and geographical significance, such as mountain slopes and near rivers, symbolizing the harmony between spirituality and the natural world. These structures are not just places of worship, but also centers of learning, where future generations are taught the values of compassion, wisdom, and mutual respect. Tibetan art, likewise, is saturated with natural and spiritual symbolism. Thangkas, religious paintings on fabric, depict Buddhist deities, scenes of the Buddha, and intricate mandalas that are used in meditation and rituals. These artworks are not merely decorative but are considered manifestations of divinity, serving as visual meditations that help guide the observer to deeper states of consciousness. Thus, in Tibet, everyday life, art, architecture, and celebrations are all deeply intertwined with spirituality and the natural environment. This integration creates a culture that not only respects the land but also sees it as an extension of their faith, where every mountain, river, and valley is viewed as sacred, deserving of reverence and protection. If you plan to visit Tibet, choosing the right time is crucial. We will guide you through the best seasons to explore this magnificent region. Due to its high altitude and geographic location, Tibet experiences extreme weather conditions that can vary significantly throughout the year, making the choice of timing especially important for your visit. Spring, April to June, is one of the best times to visit Tibet. During these months, the weather begins to warm up, and the icy landscapes of winter slowly give way to a burst of wildflowers. It's an ideal season for nature lovers, as the melting snows reveal trekking trails and the local wildlife becomes more active. Additionally, the air is cleaner and the views of the snow-capped peaks are exceptionally clear. Summer, July to August, brings the monsoon season, which may be less ideal for some travelers due to frequent rains. However, the rains typically occur at night, leaving most of the day clear and sunny. This is also a vibrant cultural time, with several major festivals taking place, such as the Shotan Yogurt Festival, celebrated with opera performances and mass picnics. Autumn, September to October, is considered by many to be the best time to visit Tibet. The weather is generally stable and pleasant, with comfortable daytime temperatures and minimal chances of precipitation. The landscapes are spectacular, with the deep blue sky contrasting against the golden autumn leaves and snowy peaks in the background. This is also the ideal season for photography, given the clarity of the air and the golden light that prevails. Winter, November to March, in Tibet is harsh, with temperatures that can drop well below zero. Although it is the low tourist season due to the intense cold, it can still be a good time to visit if you are well prepared for the cold and interested in experiencing Tibet in a quieter and more introspective manner. The celebrations of Losar, the Tibetan New Year, usually occur in February, providing a rich opportunity to witness and participate in local traditions. When planning your trip, also consider the need for acclimatization to the altitude. Allowing a few extra days at the beginning of your trip to adapt can significantly improve your experience in Tibet. With proper planning, your visit to Tibet can be a transformative journey, filled with cultural discoveries, spiritual adventures, and breathtaking views. The geography of Tibet is marked by its turbulent history. From ancient kingdoms to modern political dilemmas, the land is as complex as it is sacred. Located on the Tibetan Plateau, known as the roof of the world due to its impressive altitude, Tibet is a region of geographical and cultural extremes that have shaped the identity and history of its people over the centuries. Historically, Tibet was an independent kingdom with a monarchy that dates back to the 7th century. This was a time of significant expansion of Buddhism, which became intrinsic to Tibetan culture and governance. Buddhism influenced not only religion but also art, politics, and education, establishing Tibet as a recognized center of spiritual and philosophical learning throughout Asia. Tibet's strategic location, situated between China and India, two ancient and powerful civilizations, also made it an important point of cultural and commercial exchange. However, this position also exposed Tibet to invasions and external influences, especially from China. In the 20th century, the issue of Tibetan sovereignty became a significant point of conflict. In 1950, China asserted control over the region, leading to enduring political tensions and the eventual flight of the Dalai Lama into exile in 1959. These events had a profound impact on the lives of Tibetans, influencing international relations and global politics regarding China and the Himalayan region. The issue of Tibetan autonomy and the right to self-determination continue to be subjects of international debate and discussion, highlighting the complex intersection of ancient history and modern political dilemmas. Moreover, Tibet is a region of stunning natural beauty, with its vast high-altitude deserts, snow-covered mountains, and deep valleys that serve as a habitat for a unique variety of fauna and flora. This biodiversity, along with the vital water resources that Tibet provides for Asia, underscores the ecological importance of the region. The preservation of these natural resources and the protection of the Tibetan environment have become crucial issues, given the pressures of economic exploitation and climate change. Thus, the geography of Tibet, intertwined with its history and spirituality, continues to be a stage for the interaction of ancient and contemporary forces. For the Tibetan people, the land is not just the setting of their struggle for autonomy, but also the source of their deep spiritual and cultural identity, making every aspect of their geography both a testament to resilience and a sacred sanctuary. One of the most unique traditions in Tibet is fraternal polyandry. This practice helps keep land within the family and strengthens community bonds. Known locally as Nyamba, fraternal polyandry involves several brothers from the same family marrying one or more women, who are often sisters. This form of polyandry is quite rare globally but has deep roots in Tibetan culture, especially in rural and agricultural regions. The practice of fraternal polyandry has significant economic and social advantages in the Tibetan context. Traditionally, land is a scarce and valuable resource in Tibet, and its distribution and maintenance are crucial for the subsistence of agricultural communities. By sharing a wife among brothers, the family avoids subdividing their land across different generations, which could lead to property fragmentation and reduced agricultural viability. In this way, fraternal polyandry helps preserve the integrity of agricultural lands, ensuring they remain productive and capable of supporting the family over generations. Beyond the economic benefits, fraternal polyandry also reinforces community ties. This practice promotes a strong family unit and ensures resources are managed collectively. In a culture where community welfare and mutual support are highly valued, fraternal polyandry aligns perfectly with these values, fostering a sense of shared responsibility and cooperation among family members. Socially, this tradition also helps avoid conflicts over inheritance and maintains harmony within the community. As brothers work together to care for their common wife and children, bonds of solidarity, respect, and mutual support are strengthened. The extended family, in turn, benefits from this stability, contributing to broader social cohesion in the community. Although fraternal polyandry is becoming less common in modern Tibet, due to changes in inheritance laws, migration to urban areas, and the influence of more global marriage norms, it is still practiced in many rural communities. For many, it continues to be a vital connection to their traditions and a reflection of cultural adaptation to the challenging environmental and economic conditions of Tibet. Therefore, fraternal polyandry in Tibet is not just an anthropological curiosity. It is a practice that encapsulates the interaction between economy, culture, and ecology. It highlights how communities can develop complex social systems that not only respond to their unique circumstances, but also reinforce values such as family unity and economic and environmental sustainability. Tibet is a world of beauty, mystery, and spirituality that is deeply rooted. Every stone and breath of wind in this sacred land has a story to tell. If you enjoyed this video and want to continue exploring the mysteries of Tibet and other cultures around the world, subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications. Your support is crucial for us to continue producing content that enlightens and inspires. Click on the suggested link for more discoveries, and don't forget to activate the notification bell so you never miss our new explorations. Thank you for watching, and see you on the next adventure.